enough oxygen to breathe. Helmets it is then. Well explain why this site was abandoned. These natural caverns likely... were not worth the risk of traversing.
Can't say I don't appreciate it, but I doubt you came all this way just to do me a favor. Now you want to explain to me why you're going around harassing nefarious old men by wiping away their hard-earned debts? Tissue sample? You came all the way down here for that? Must be some damn important cells. You want to tell me what I'm about to be staring at? A fast-growing terramorph. That is concerning. Who exactly told you to bring this to me? Hadrian. She gave you this? If she made you come all the way for this... Let's get inside. I need to see these cells.
Gonna ask you to not touch anything. Got some projects in the works down here. I wasn't expecting guests. Oh, and Lou mentioned how you took care of the debt. Can't say I'm thrilled the Trade Authority got their mitts on the research, but I guess that's the price you pay not to live in a cave the rest of your days. All queued up. Let's gaze into this abyss, shall we? All right, just get those cellular markers tagged. Wait, where are the markers? This can't be right. This sample, it's Londinian. I'll need to get this all in a slate. Adrian really gave you this sample. You're not lying to me? Because if you told me this was a hoax, and it'd be the best damn fake I've ever seen, I'd be mad and very, very relieved. Can't just humor an old man, huh? This sample, it's got all the indicators of the worst terramorph attack in human history. I presume you've heard of Londinian. It was a city wiped completely off the map by terramorphs. The swarms were so bad, they had to blow the spaceport and seal the place off from the galaxy at large. Not a lot of samples made it off the world from the time of the attack, but the ones that did, well, they look just like this one. I didn't detect any of the telltale signatures this specimen ever sat on a ship while it was alive, either. I don't think it was transported to Talsetti. This specimen, it grew there, faster than any terramorph should. Which means, if we're about to start a new era in human-terramorph relations, where big, sudden Londinian-style attacks can happen outside Londinian, that's not gonna end well for humanity.
The chances for survival, let alone maintaining any kind of functioning society, would be slim indeed.
So, you lugged this bad omen all the way here. You want to tell me what your plans are for it now? Because until now, the terramorphs that wiped out Londinian had the good sense to stay put. What happened there? It was a tragedy, but at least it was contained. So to find evidence for a similar attack on a different world, well, we don't have enough information to know precisely what this means. But I doubt it's good. So I'd love to know what it is you're planning from here. The circle, huh? Could use a drink about now. Here, faster we take the lift to the surface. Not supposed to use it, but Given the circumstances, I'm inclined to just ask forgiveness. Let's get going.
The biggest surprise is not that the UC engaged in Xeno warfare in the past, but that they ever stopped. I would have expected them to very quietly keep this place open.
I have something for you when you have a moment.
Careful near the railings on the upper level.
Does that really hurt? Adrian.
Person. My God, look at you. You're an old man now.
You're no hassling yourself anymore, Major. Our friend here showed me your sample. Suffice it to say,
Not here. Let's talk somewhere more private. Lou said we could use the back. Lou gave me the abridged version of what went down. Yeah, I can't thank you enough for taking care of all that.
makes two of us.
I hope it ultimately didn't end up being too much trouble. That's certainly not what I was expecting you'd have to go through. But thank you. I'm just glad you both came through intact. So, were you two able to get that workup together?
Got it right here. That sample? It's an exact match for the ones from Londinian.
Londinian. That's exactly what I was afraid of.
Not thrilled to be the bearer of that kind of news. That's for damn sure. So tell me you've got some kind of plan for that workup.
Well, right now, we've got more questions than answers. So I've been trying to figure out what it's gonna take to access our old Terramorph data.
Good place to start. What'd you find?
It's in the archives.
The Armistice Archives? Doesn't that mean we be dealing with the Cabinet? And the Freestar Collective? And House Va'ruun somehow? Guess we can kiss that approach goodbye.
I didn't think the Cabinet would be willing to hear us out either. But I called in some favors. They've agreed to hear us out on 2 conditions. 1, they want to see this analysis you two have procured. And 2, they want to discuss what happened on Tau Ceti. With both of us. Well, when the Colony War came to a close 19 years ago, with the signing of the armistice, 3 factions were involved in the negotiations. The UC, Freestar, and House Va'ruun. They made a lot of decisions about what sort of tactics should and shouldn't be permitted in future conflicts. All information related to the things they decided should be banned was locked away in the archives. Now, it's possible to get things out of there, but only with the agreement of members from all 3 factions. And as to what our research is doing in there, well, I'll get to that. The Cabinet's the UC's highest governing body. The President, top military brass, scientific and diplomatic division heads. Any major decision the UC makes goes through them. They're the only real chance we've got of unlocking the archives. So without their blessing, we're flying blind. Well, that's about the best news I've had all day. But before you commit, I want to make sure you know the whole story. Percival and I, we're not just researchers. We were military scientists, ran a division of the UC together that deployed aliens on the battlefield as weapons.
Place I was hiding out. That was our unit's home base.
After some early fits and starts at other facilities, the place eventually became the heart of UC xeno-warfare. A practice that's been banned ever since the armistice went into effect almost 20 years ago. And the UC military cut us loose for what we'd done. No, we were both dismissed after the war for what we did. These days, we're just concerned citizens with a very particular area of expertise. Our damage has been done for a long time. Oh, you already knew. I'm sorry about that. It didn't seem relevant in the moment, and well, it's not something I'm exactly proud of. But it was during that assignment that the UC asked us to explore deploying terramorphs on the battlefield. The project never got off the ground, but the data our team gathered is now sitting in the archives, along with all the other information banned after the Colony War. Under the watchful eye of monitors from all the galactic factions still participating in regular politics. But if we can convince the Cabinet to help us access that data, it'll give us the tools we need to decipher what exactly this sample might mean. And hopefully, how to prevent more attacks like the one that spawned it. Because the Terramorph project was doomed from the start. Terramorphs are too mean, too smart, too hungry to be used in combat. Trust us, we tried. The data that's in the archives, it's historical write-ups, anatomical notation, food chain analyses. I doubt they would have even classified it if it didn't have a xeno-warfare logo on it. You have my word. It's not a threat. I mean, I hope they will, given the evidence we've acquired. But getting the Freestar Collective and House Va'ruun on our side, that won't be easy.
Since neither group is exactly on great terms with the UC at the moment, for various reasons.
Exactly. It's going to mean negotiations and deals and Plenty of diplomatic legwork to see this through. But I don't see a better option to solving what's going on here. So it's gonna be up to us to get them on board. Of course. Take all the time you need. I need to get this data into the hands of the cabinet anyway. Once you've made up your mind, you can find me out front of Mast on New Atlantis. I hope to see you there. Something on your mind?
It is illegal to transport plant or animal life to Mars without going through the official DOD channel or transporting workers.
They're finally shelling out for new equipment. But it's from the Inferno, Dante. Sixth Circle of Hell was where all the fallen angels set up shop when heaven tossed them out. Upon the gates I spied more than 1,000, who of old from heaven were hurled. That's all right. None of these drunks got it either. But second home to the devils seemed about as good a moniker as I was going to find for my bar. Becoming a devil? It was a point of pride on Mars for a lot of years. Parents on New Atlantis, they'd want their kids to become a Class 1 bureaucrat or something. Here, we got bedtime stories about the demons from the mines. Martian fiends, honed finer than any knife edge, tougher than any blast shield. When the UC needed results, they sent us. So, when the devils were disbanded, when all that went away, you can understand how hard it was for folks here. Fair warning, my patrons aren't the picky type.
I'm just gonna wait until that drug's in production. And I'm telling everyone Percival and I saved Mars. Oh,
Hey, look. I didn't realize you were actually gonna help Percival. You're all right.
might be time I start working on something.
Deluxe condos aren't anything special, but plenty of people.
I swear that warning klaxon still startles me every time.
The transition to acting governor has gone smoothly. That's right. As the highest-ranking officer on this planet, it was only fitting that I be appointed to the position in the interim. I know you had a hand in uncovering Hurst's scandal. Rest assured, I'm not like Hurst. I won't make the same lapses in judgment he did. I'm sworn to my duty to serve the people of Mars, and I'll keep with it until someone tells me otherwise, or I'm 6 feet under, whichever comes first. Have yourself a good one.
I keep telling myself, next year. I swear the next go. Let's have a little. You walked in here? Oh, good. All right. Sure. See you around.
Hey.
Not what I'm saying. You've got to have at least half of your power in your shields.
Caution. Subterranean particle detonation imminent. Be advised to secure loose articles and find stable ground or remain seated in the event of unforeseen tremors.
Talk to me if you reckon you can.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I hope getting this equipment will be good for you and me. Take a look.
Particle detonation concluded.
See you later, friendo.
It is now safe to resume normal activity.
Found a clutch of heat leads.
Hey, welcome to the... Cool. That's what we do here.
Not going to be able to
See you around.
image out of my head.
Sometimes I wish I'd taken an easier job.
Is that how the saying goes?
Now you're not pestering the captain. Oh, never mind. Choice words. Nice to refer to.
Of course.
So this book collection?
Don't you always say, don't listen to rumors?
That landed not too long ago?
Everyone needs supplies. Suppose that's a good thing. I'll say right up front that if you're short on credits, I can't help you. Feel free to look around.
Might not be the biggest selection in town, but our liquor gets the job done as well as any. I can guarantee you that.
He is not here. I am disappointed, but relieved somehow? You're right. I'm sorry. Someone here must know more. We should inquire about him. Yes, Aggies. I have spent far too much time here. I do not recommend it.
I'm busy. Leave me alone. You ain't here looking for Erin. She is.
Hello, Aggie. I was unsure whether you would remember me. It has been a long time.
I ain't likely to forget you anytime soon. I don't know. You tell me. You're the one blundering in here with her in tow, asking questions. I heard you ain't deaf. She didn't ruin Aaron's life enough the first time, huh? Back for more?
Ruined his life? How dare you?
Did she tell you what she did to him? How she left him bleeding on some godforsaken rock in the middle of nowhere? Now, after all this time, you could have dropped in any time in, the last 9 years or so. Maybe that wouldn't have been too convenient for you, though. Aaron sat in that corner for years, scared of his own shadow, convinced the damn zealots were coming back to finish the job. The few credits he had to rub together that didn't get spent on drink, he spent on setting himself up someplace where they couldn't find him. Wouldn't trust anyone that walked through the door. Only ever talked to me when he was drunk enough. If either of you cared, you wouldn't just be showing up now. Aaron ain't been in here for almost a year now. Showed up one day saying he'd gone and got himself set up on Hyla too, thanking me for letting him stay here so often. It was the closest I'd seen him to happy in I don't know how long. And that was it. Never came through the door again.
Did he ever mention me?
You mean, did he blame you? That's what you want to know. I know guilt when I see it. Don't try and deny it.
Fine. Did he blame me?
No. Believed you were one of the good ones, right up until the last time I talked to him. Me? I don't think your kind has good ones.
My kind?
I know what you are. You take your holier-than-thou bullshit and your great serpent and shove them.
You dare insult me like this when I have come to you asking for help. I should kill you where you stand. You're right. We should focus on finding him.
Well, this has been so much fun. You see Aaron, you tell him I got a bottle of his favorite stashed away if he ever shows up again. But honestly, I'm hoping he doesn't.
I wish I had thought to check on Aaron sooner. We have something to go on, at least. I am grateful that you showed some compassion, despite that woman's attitude. I do not have your patience. You are more diplomatic than I would be. One more reason I am glad to have you with me. I'm eager to reach Hyla too, and speak to Aaron. Perhaps there is something we can do to help him. Provide him a sense of safety. Another time.
I'm one of those who needs a lot of money or possessions to feel good about
Times
my
are tight,
life.
you know? Gotta do what you gotta do.
Go easy on Como. Aw, you're leaving?
My mother wanted me to be a doctor.
Thanks for keeping the hole.
You saved my ass. I'll make sure I never do anything like that again.
The fact that whoever sabotaged that robot is getting away with it, yeah. Well, maybe this Ashta Alpha can get the mayor to give us more funds to protect it.
If I get called on one more drug of disorderly.
Excuse me. Is your ship in need of a doctor? Or a botanist? I might be able to help. Really? That's great! I'm looking forward to the adventure. I've never left Aquila City before.
I obviously know a lot about medicine, and I'm an experienced botanist too. I'd be happy to help collect samples in the field.
Oh. Let me think about that. If you're the best, then...
Don't think I'm desperate or anything, but you do have a point.
You seem like a trustworthy person. I'll work for what you're offering. Oh, thank you.
I'll work hard, I need to gather some...
I find the interior of this ship comforting.
Your ship smells so much better than Dad's. Bye.
There. Stable already achieved. Michael Toy's sailboat released into a calm pond.
Dad, have you ever tried Aurora? What was it like?
Terrible. It was terrible. You stay away from that stuff, Paul. Trust me. It's the worst.
My ship is in tatters, all dented and worn. But I trust my old engine to get back by morn. Way out in the blackness, way out in the void. Way get me back to my true love, as quick as an old asteroid. Always happy to meet a stranger. Hope my singing was to your liking. It is, at that. If you believe the family tales, we've been merchantmen and freighter captains since the days of the East India Company. If you like my singing, you should have heard my pops. Now he had a voice. Oh, and now you've made mine. Afraid my ship's got the next jump plotted in, so I'm away. Fair travels.
hope you're having a good day.
I don't know about you, but a fella could do a lot worse than Constellation.
Come on. There are worlds to conquer. We should be on our guard here. If we could detect the camp from orbit, it means others could too. And I have no idea what fortifications he may have. When we arrive, would you let me speak to him first? I think that is important right now. Nor do I expect that. I would welcome your company. I think the first person he sees should be someone he knows. It sounds as if these years have been hard on him. I do not wish to make it worse. Let us proceed slowly and carefully. I do not want to antagonize him. Harvest any organic materials, now would be the time.
Good day, Captain.
I'm all here.
I was beginning to wonder if you hibernate.
Captain, it is pleasant to see you.
What does your scanner reveal? Always worth checking. Never know what you might find in their pockets. I thought I saw something. I need to be sure. I don't know what to say. I thought there would be a chance to speak to him. To make amends. Or at least to hear him curse me for leaving him. I was prepared to accept that. I did not think I would find him like this. At least these vermin didn't get him. He's been gone for... Oh, clearly it's been some time. Look around. There will be correspondence from Jada Wong, I am sure of it. This cannot all be for... nothing. Best not to leave anything useful behind. You found something. Please, let me see it. I should have guessed. Jada was always the one to run towards trouble. Of course she would still be doing it now. In her own way. For anyone else, I would say the chances of survival are slim. But for Jada... she is alive and on a mission. I would bet my life on it. Jada was younger than some of the other smugglers we contracted. There was concern she would be unreliable. As time went on, we called on her more and more often, eventually relying on her almost exclusively. She was sharp, a skilled pilot and very, very determined. Always talking about her big plans for retirement, how she would live like a queen. I am not surprised that she would desire revenge. But to go this far, we need to find her. But before we go, I've discovered something else. And I do not know what to make of it. Aaron was composing a reply to Jada, but never sent it. It reads as if he was expecting the Zealots to find him. That they knew where to look for him. Clearly he had become paranoid, but that does not mean he was wrong. What bothers me, though, is that he mentions a name he should not know. Tomisar Kadik. Yes, I'm sorry. For all of my assignments in the settled systems, Tomisar has been my link to House Barun. From him, I have received my orders, and he is the person to whom I have reported my success. He does not work with anyone outside House Barun, and I am the only one who knows how and where to find him. Aaron should never have heard of him. Perhaps. He could have reached out directly, but that would be a surprising breach of protocol. We must first make sure that Jada is safe, and perhaps she will be able to shed light on this. Let us head for the den.
Recalculating. And forming stabilizing. Perfect. Descent started.
Time to greet the stars.
Pumping retros. Orbit achieved. Stabilizing. Done.
Dan acknowledging incoming hail. Docking Bay 1 is free.
Ship is now docked. Perfect. Didn't even smudge the paint.
It is good to be back in our own ship. Either she is here, or someone will know where we can find her.
Hey, what can I do for you? How about my foot up your ass?
I understand this station was once quite the luxurious place for UC military commanders. Based on what I see, I find that very hard to believe.
You don't think? If you weren't such a lousy reporter, you wouldn't be stuck all the way out here! I mean, I guess maybe that's true, but if so, you're just as stuck out here as I am. So what does that say? Oh, wow! You really do want me to kick your ass, don't ya?
All right, that's enough. Bastion, go cool off. Get a drink.
Whatever. Fine.
Holden, I appreciate that you have a job to do. I really do. But you need to consider that you don't operate in a vacuum. If you're stationed here long term, that means you're around these people all day, every day. And they're not going to like it if you're making them look bad.
Lieutenant Commander Marquez, I appreciate your concern, but I have an obligation to SSNN to report on what I see.
I'm sure they do know that, Holden. I'm just saying, maybe use a little more discretion in your reporting. Maybe a lot. Don't worry. When the next big story breaks out here, I'll be sure to help you get the scoop, okay?
I will think on that. Thank you.
Haven't seen you around here before. Welcome to the den. Reina Marquez. I head up the Vanguard station here. Good to see another Vanguard pilot. You assigned here, or just passing through? Right. Okay. Good. Was afraid I'd gotten another transfer without any warning. Nothing against you personally, of course. I'd just like to know who I'm responsible for before they show up on my doorstep. You need anything? Say the word. We're short on luxuries here, but for a fellow Vanguard, I'll do what I can to help. Oh gosh, no. Vanguard wasn't even a thought back when this place was first built. The den, the original den, mind you, got blown up during the Serpent's Crusade. UC Navy immediately rebuilt the station, I think largely out of spite. Sometimes I think that's why they keep it operational too. Certainly hasn't had much real purpose since the Colony War ended. I'm glad we have it as a post, and Marcel and the Trade Authority do some decent business, which I try very hard not to pay attention to. But the station has never recaptured that old glory. Don't think it ever will, really. Might be counterintuitive, but no. No, we don't. It's pretty quiet, and some of us deal with that better than others. We get the occasional distress call, sometimes Varun stirs up trouble, but there's a lot of downtime. I'm not complaining, but others, like Bastion there, it's not what he was expecting. Certainly not what he wanted. The same thing we do everywhere else. Fill in the gaps for the UC Navy. Help keep the settled systems peaceful and safe. Sometimes it's a little bit of a challenge all the way out here, but we try our best. I wouldn't mind a little more support from New Atlantis, but I know things are tough all over. Huang? Really? There are at least 3 other pilots based out of here I'd expect to receive complaints about first. Before we get started, I have to inform you there's a formal review process for the Vanguard, so don't expect any action for a while, okay? Now, what is the nature of your complaint? Look, this isn't Alpha Centauri or anything. We're a bit removed from the center of the United Colonies. Folks out here are a little less receptive to the Vanguard keeping an eye on things. Oh, okay. Sorry. Force of habit, I suppose. Jada isn't here. Hasn't been here in a while. In fact, she's following up on some sensitive information. I'm not sure I should disclose any more than that. It's not something I can just blurt out. Maybe. Need to think about it. I hear you. I'm trying to be reasonable here. I'm glad you understand the position I'm in here. I suppose it's not the end of the world. Jada came in a bit ago, all fired up over some hot lead. She's been focused on zealots ever since she was assigned here, but this was a whole other level. She was headed out to Groombridge to track them down. Never seen her so fixated. And if you know Jada, that's saying something. If you're headed out that way, be careful. Wouldn't surprise me if she's getting into all kinds of trouble. Vanguard's here if you need us.
Marquez is all right, I guess.
Welcome to the Trade Authority. I'm Marcel, and if there's anything I can do for you, please, do let me know. Our stock may not be as vast as New Atlantis or Sidonia, but I will do my best to see that you leave here satisfied. And seeing as the Trade Authority is the only fully licensed operator for the Den, I'm afraid your alternatives are, shall we say, slim. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, and I hope this and all future interactions are profitable for both of us. It's very kind of you to offer, but I am currently not in a position to personally require your services. There are, however, likely some Trade Authority contracts available at the terminal down in the bar. I'm sure you're already aware that the Trade Authority is quite generous when it comes to completing said contracts. If there are deals to be made, you'll find that we'll go to great lengths to take advantage of them. My primary role here is to oversee logistics operations for our many trade routes in the area, but I convinced my superiors that it was worth setting up something more customer-oriented. I'm told that they are quite pleased with the results. I hope we have...
It's a little surprising, isn't it? Out here on the edge of UC space, but it's just so quiet. If you're ever in New Atlantis, mind putting in a good word for me? I don't think my messages to SSNN are getting through. Why, certainly. The Settled Systems News Network is the longest-running news service in, well, the Settled Systems. Reporters are dispatched all over, keeping an ear to the ground for some breaking news that should be known to everyone. It can, admittedly, be a bit of a pain making sure those stories reach our central office in New Atlantis. But until someone invents faster-than-light communication, it's the best we can do. Well, I certainly feel that way. The Vanguard pilots don't seem to want to associate with me. And I don't agree with Mr. Romack's views on the colony war, so there are few options left to me. You know, I really thought volunteering for this assignment was going to be the boost to my career that I was looking for. Now I suspect even SSNN has forgotten about me. So I've been told. Farewell, then.
Okay. Now I've seen everything.
Haven't seen you around here before. Good to see another van. Actually, it's very much my So, you can take that attitude and walk right back out the airlock. The same thing we do everywhere. Sometimes it's... I wouldn't mind a little more. Take care.
Oh, I do not get paid enough to deal with stuff like that.
Something to report?
None of us would be here now weren't for Vae Victis. We'd all do well to remember that. Hey there. Ain't seen you before. What brings you to the den? That's so. Not many have reason to pass through here. Seems like most avoid it. But what do I know? I'm just an old man who's been here too long. Well, you're welcome here, so long as I don't hear you disrespecting the United Colonies military. You got a problem with our history or our heroes? And you can find somewhere else to get yourself a drink. Clear? Tell me something I don't know. You should have seen this place 30 years ago. UC's best and brightest were in and out of here all the time. But then the colony war and, well, most folks don't like to be honest about that. I ain't one to turn my back on those who saved us in those days. And because I won't dishonor the memory of Vae Victis, business dries up. Ain't my problem that people don't like to face the reality of what happens in wartime. Man was a hero, not a traitor. Well, now that depends. You support the UC? Consider yourself a patriot? Sure as hell does. All right, maybe you can help me out. Had some posters made up a while back to remind folks of the good work Vae Victis has done for all of us. Try and push back against all the lies the government tells. I'd put them up here, but that's, caused some friction with the Vanguard pilots. I hate to see them go to waste, though. If a strong-willed, patriotic individual, such as yourself, were to make sure some of them were placed where they could inspire the people of the United Colonies, well, that'd be something. And there'd be some credits in it for anyone helping out the UC. What do you think? I was thinking the well might be a good spot. People down there might be more receptive, don't you think? That's the spirit. All right. Posters are in the back there, and you just let me know when you're done. Oh, he was a brilliant man. Just brilliant. Best leader we could have asked for in a crisis. He made the tough decisions no one else could. Did what needed to be done. Saved our asses. And when it was over, they turned on him. Called him a traitor and executed him. Just shameful. Well, not all of us are just gonna go along with rewriting history. Some of us remember. We saw it happen. Victus sacrificed everything to save the United Colonies. That's what a real hero does. Long live the UC!
I'm on what you call a...
It would seem more prudent that the UC simply shut down this entire station, rather than allow it to endure in this state.
Oh, hey, don't look at me. I'm just here for the liquor and the, occasional odd job or whatever. Ooh, well, that depends on who you ask. Orville over there is still stuck in the glory days when this was the domain of the UC military brass and all their hangers-on. We can't see those days are never coming back. The Vanguard pilots, they mostly just resent guarding the ass end of nowhere. Reyna's okay, I guess. She seems to really care about the mission. And me? Well, it's as good a place as any to be stuck, I guess. You know, that's a good question. I do stuff for Orville sometimes, odd jobs or whatever, when he's not annoying. But I think technically I get paid by the Vanguard. I mean, I could probably go look it up, but as long as the credits keep showing up in my account, I'll keep hanging around. Okay then.
Don't see new faces around here very often.
I try not to trade in gossip, but if you have any verifiable information, I'm always...